ABC's new exclusive interview with President-elect Barack Obama and his wife, Michelle. Barbara Walters sat down last night with the new first couple in their hometown of Chicago, where Barack Obama talked candidly about the economic bailout and adjusting to his new life as president-elect.
How did you feel when you read about the three heads of the auto companies taking private planes to Washington?
Well, I thought maybe they're a little tone deaf to what's happening in America right now. This has been a chronic problem, not just for the auto industry. I mean, when people are pulling down $100 million bonuses on Wall Street and taking enormous risks with other people's money, that indicates a sense that you don't have any perspective on what's happening to ordinary Americans.
Should bank executives, it's almost Christmas time, forego their bonuses?
I think they should. That's an example of taking responsibility. I think that if you are already worth tens of millions of dollars and you are having to lay off workers, the least you can do is say, I'm willing to make some sacrifice as well, because I recognize that there are people who are a lot less well off who are going through some pretty tough times.
How are you going to get along without your BlackBerry?
This is a problem. One of the things that I'm going to have to work through is how to break through the isolation, the bubble that exists around a president. And I'm in the process of negotiating with the Secret Service, with lawyers, with White House staff.
You might have a BlackBerry?
Well, I'm negotiating to figure out how can I get information from outside of the 10 or 12 people who surround my office in the White House. I want to make sure that I keep my finger on the pulse of the struggles that people are going through every day.
So tough to give up that BlackBerry. And of course, Barbara just returned with this interview, joins us now. You were just in Chicago hours ago.
That's right. Yeah.
Had a chance to sit down with the Obamas, as we just saw. How are they doing?
Together, they're very funny. I've never seen this relaxed. By the way, he's losing so far that negotiation about the BlackBerry. But of course, their main concern is about, the two little girls and how they have a life that's not in a bubble, how they have a life that's as normal as possible. And you'll be surprised at how they're going to make that happen.
I think a lot of it just has to do with making sure that they understand that they're special to us because we're their parents, but they're not special in terms of having to do their homework or having to do chores or
they're going to do chores in the White House?
Yeah, that was the first thing I said to some of the staff when I did my visit, because of course they were like, oh, the girls, they're so great. I said, we're going to have to set up some boundaries because they're going to need to be able to make their beds and clean up. And they do that now.
They've been doing
so in the White House, they're going to make
old.
the beds and clean up their rooms?
That's going to be one of my goals. You just don't make their beds. Make mine. But skip the kids. Let them make their own beds. They have to learn these things.
Right. The thing that I'm most proud about my kids is that they're kind, thoughtful kids, and they show everybody respect, everybody they meet. They're kind and sweet too, and they're thoughtful. If they retain that, the other stuff will take care of itself.
As you said, very comfortable, very funny with one another. How would you describe their relationship, Barbara?
By the way, he's usually so serious, and when he discusses Afghanistan with us and the economy, it's very serious. He says that he is funny. I said, people think you don't have much of a sense of humor. He said, no, I'm funny, but she's funnier. They did something that I think everyone can relate to. We sit down with the interview, and Mrs. Obama's talking, and he bends over and says, just a minute, dear. And he takes on camera the lipstick off her teeth. We left it in. I said, you know what? I'm going to leave this in because everybody should see, what you like. They're very, I don't know how to put it, I don't want to gush. They're very cute and very funny in this interview together.
Of course, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. What are their plans?
She says that they're going to have 60 people at least, and he says, yeah, mostly her relatives. She says, I'm not cooking. She said, and I quote, my husband ran for president. I should have an out of cooking something for dinner. So she's just going to she'll be a lady of leisure, more or less, at the dinner.
We see how they are very comfortable with each other going back and forth, but who gets the last word a lot?
She says she does. And he says She gets the last word, and I'm quoting him, "When Mama's happy, everyone is happy." And she talked too about the fact, that he is always so cool and so on. And he says, "Yeah, but sometimes she gets under my skin." And I said, "Well, what?" And he said, "Well, when she's unreasonable." She does keep him grounded. She gives him the little nudges here and there. When he talks about not wanting to be in a bubble, she won't let him be in a bubble. And that's when you see her teasing and trying to not put him down, but saying, "Hey, let's remember who we are, just the two of us."
Quite a partnership. Well, Barbara, thank you. I know you just landed hours ago, and to bring us a sneak peek, we appreciate it. And you can see all of Barbara's exclusive interview with the Obamas on a special edition of ABC's 2020. You can see it tonight at 10/9 Central.
Experience the ultimate flavor. Presenting Kraft Good Seasoned Salad Dressing. Made